After the first few months of our marriage, and we're living our lives, growing together as a couple, something started to happen on the inside of both of us. There was this uneasiness or uncomfortableness. We should be happy. Everything around us is working together. We're helping a young church just start out. We're performing as Morning Star in different coffee houses. We're even trying to figure out ways how Mayana can use her acting to bring it in so we can use that as well to help people hear the gospel of Jesus. And on the inside at this time, we're not happy. And the only time we really felt happy and really felt joyful is when we would sit down and talk about Germany, the old country where Mayana came from. And the more we talked about it, the more we realized we need to just take a trip. Maybe there's something about going to Germany that Mayana and I need to understand. So we saved every penny we could. Mayana started to work as a waitress, which was a new experience for her at an Italian restaurant. And she saved all her tip money. She believed God for every time she worked, she'd make so much money so she could save her money for her plane ticket. Well, she got her plane ticket together. I got my plane ticket together. And she left about 3 weeks before I did so she could take time with friends and family. And I could just finish my work and then take my vacation. Now, we had planned to go for 6 weeks. I'm going to Germany for 6 weeks. I'm really showing God how much faith I have. I know there's something in Germany for me. Don't know what it is, but I'm going to go for 6 weeks. And I remember very clearly, I'm all alone in my house. This is 2.5 days before I'm supposed to leave. And again, I sense this picture, this clear speaking of God. When are you going to get it in your brain? You're not coming home. It was so clear to me. And after really pondering and thinking about that, I made a decision. So the next day, I told my boss, he was a friend of mine, I'm sorry, I'm not coming back to work. I went over to Michael's parents and said, I'm really sorry, but I have to give you the house back. I'm moving to Germany, and I don't know when I'm coming back. Thank God they were very understanding and let us out of the lease. I told my parents, I think I'm going to be staying in Germany. And my mom helped me pack up all my stuff and we put it in storage, and I even sold my car. So here I am. I've burnt all my bridges. I called Mayana and I said, Mayana, I don't think we're coming back. And in her heart, she knew that all the time. So to her, it was a confirmation that we were about to embark on an adventure that neither of us knew where we were heading, but we knew it was right. I told all my friends, and I was very sad to have to tell them, hey guys, I think I have to leave the band. Yeah, of course, their reaction was, this can't be God, this is the devil. We're working so hard and now you're going to leave. But I knew in my heart this was the right thing for me to do. So I went to the airport, flew on to Germany, and I'll never forget it. My father-in-law had promised us to take a vacation. I had never really been on a vacation like this. Mayana, with her father and stepmother, picked me up at the airport in Munich, and we drove right to Italy, a little outside of Venice, a place called Grotto. And he had rented a hotel for the next 2 weeks, and we stayed in a hotel, and I actually had a vacation with living in a hotel and having food. I wasn't used to that. And I thought, this is great. But when we came back to Munich, that's when reality sat in. We sat down and talked, and we said, if we're going to stay here, then we need to make some money. Because I had taken with me $50. I had 2 suitcases of belongings and $50. $50 doesn't buy you much. And even back then, didn't buy you very much. So we knew we needed to make money. Mayana had just done her exams as a state actress, as they would call it. So she was still in the agency that gets jobs for professional actors and actresses. So Mayana got a job immediately in a city called Kassel, where she would work for the State Theater there. But that was like 600 kilometers away. And I'm all alone in Munich. My father-in-law allowed us to live in his apartment with him and his wife, but he didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any German. So Here I am, pretty much all alone. We had visited a small church just before Mayana left to go start work, and I met a couple of younger people my age that were also musicians. My friend Teo with his wife Leah, and his another friend Ernst, and we would get together. So I had some friends that spoke English, but basically I was on my own most of the time. At that time, I remember just praying a lot, just, God, what am I supposed to do here? And one day, I got a very clear answer. What God spoke to my heart shocked me. He said, I have called you to bring the message of faith to the German-speaking people. He said, I have an assignment for you to do. Not only are you to preach, but there was a Bible teacher in America that had really blessed myself and my wife and many others of my circle of friends. That was the preacher, Kenneth Hagin. He said, I also want you to translate and publish Kenneth Hagin's books. And I was like, translate? Publish? I don't even speak German. What do I know about publishing? But I knew in my heart that's what I was supposed to do. So here came the big challenge. Telling my wife that, she prayed about it and she knew it was right. But telling my father-in-law, he was a doctor, an intellectual. And here I'm about to tell him, hey, I used to play rock and roll music, but now I sense God's telling me to be in Germany and to have a ministry. I thought, the guy's going to think I'm crazy. But I remember we sat together in their living room, and Mayana had to translate everything I said. I told him what I felt like God had told me in prayer. He looked at me and he said this. He said, John, if God has given you a gift, you are responsible to give that gift to others. His answer shocked me. It really encouraged me. But there was still something else that was bothering me. I felt totally inadequate, totally unprepared. I had never been to Bible school. What do I know about preaching? I don't have a clue. And so I had that open-end ticket because I was only supposed to stay for 6 weeks. So I used that ticket. I flew all the way back to the United States, and I sat with the man who had become our pastor as a young church was first starting. And I thought, well, he's going to give me some advice about this. I think on the inside, part of me wanted to hear, hey, you're crazy, stay in America. Because it was pretty scary, the whole thought of leaving your culture, leaving your language, leaving everything you knew, and going to someplace where you really have to start from zero. That was scary. I told him what I felt like God told me to do. He looked at me and he said, John, I'm going to be honest with you. My head wants to tell you, you're crazy, stay in America. He said, but my heart says, I need to encourage you. Go back and do what you feel God told you to do. With that word, I bought a ticket, went back to Munich. It was a one-way ticket. I had no plans to come back, and our adventure just begun.